Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another rebuild challenge, and today we have the Defense Wins Championships rebuild. This is one I've done in the past. We're going to be doing a fantasy draft today, and basically the goal, every single player in this 9 or 10 man rotation has to have at least an A- or higher defensive rating. Now, if they are a smaller guard type of player, obviously having perimeter defense at an A- is acceptable. They're not going to have post interior defense at an A-. I think we all get that, vice versa for big men. And then wings are really kind of 50-50. It doesn't matter. As long as they have one out of the two, at least an A-, that is fine by me. We are going to be going ahead and making the majority of these draft picks today. And I say that because it's going to take 18 minutes if I don't make those picks, and I have to make all these trades. So we're going to try to get through this really, really quickly, but we will be making the draft picks today, obviously with the end goal being winning a championship and hopefully having the best defensive rating in the league. I love doing this one because we build some crazy good teams, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. Let me know down below in the comments section any other video ideas you guys do have. They could be challenges, they could be off-season related, whatever you guys have in your mind. Let me know down below in the comments section. We'll get to them all, I do promise. Of course, you guys are new around here, have not yet subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you here in the community. Hit that sub button, stick around a while. But yeah, man, this is one. We're in a weird period right now. I'm actually recording this on Monday nights, and you're not seeing it till Tuesday night-ish. But yeah, I don't know if the finals are over yet, but we will see. We might have a Miami Heat offseason rebuild and a Denver Nuggets one coming up pretty soon. But we will see. Time will tell. Let's get into this one. All right, so we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. I know if we're making all the picks, it might take a minute, but I promise you we'll try to go as quickly as possible. So we'll scroll with the eyes closed real quick, make sure you know I'm not cheating, and select a random team. We'll stop here in 3, 2, and 1. We end up with the Philadelphia 76ers. They will be my team. Let's see where we are picking. It is clearly not going to be the best pick in the world, and Kawhi Leonard just went. He would have been, oh, Zion actually just went, but you know what I'm saying. Kawhi just went. Would have been a really fun pick to have on this team. We need some defense. So, Jimmy Butler, top player on the board, highest overall, has an A+ perimeter defensive rating. He's a wing. That is fully acceptable. Honestly, is probably going to be the best option here. There's also Paul George, who's an option. We have De'Aaron Fox is here. I mean, there are options for guys. I mean, I think Jimmy's the pick. He's going to be the guy I take. He's probably the best player on the board. So, welcome to the team, Jimmy Butler. I'm very, very excited to have you. I'll probably show you guys around 3 or 4 of these picks, and then I'll show you guys what the rest of the team looks like after, just because this is going to take 10 plus minutes, if not. So let's go through a couple more. We obviously have our small forward established now. We have Chris Paul here. He's just a little too old for my liking. As I mentioned, has to be A- or higher. Brook Lopez is here again. A little too old for my liking. Miles Turner is only 26. Definitely a possibility, as you see here, with that A+ interior inside defense, whatever you want to call it. Jared Allen actually progresses quite well, and he's on a really good contract. I think Jared Allen might lock up my center spot. Also could go DeJounte Murray. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to find good defensive guards, but I am going to go with Jared Allen. Jared Allen's going to be my pick. We'll see who's available for us here. I'll show you guys one more pick. I know I said I was going to show you a bunch, but it's going to take way too long. So, we're now going to go ahead. Rudy Gobert could be my guy, but we just took a center. Malcolm Brogdon doesn't quite have the ratings. Obviously, Capella's pretty useless to me. Fred VanVleet does have that A rating, and a point guard is definitely needed for us, so we might be taking Freddie VanVleet here. Lonzo also has an A. That excites me because obviously I don't play with injuries on, so that definitely could be key. It could also take Smart, but I like the potential on Lonzo just a little bit more. Steven Adams don't really need a center. You know, yeah. Let me take Lonzo Ball. So that'll be our big 3 of Jimmy Butler, Lonzo Ball, and Jared Allen. That is a pretty good starting point. We're going to take Lonzo Ball. I'll see you guys the rest of this team. All right, so we finished simming through the draft. I have a 10-man rotation that fits the standards and the requirements absolutely perfectly. Let's get into this and show you guys some of these guys. Also, I'll go Trade Finder so you can see the attributes a little bit easier. But as you saw, Lonzo Ball is going to be our starting point guard. He has an A-rated perimeter defense. Kyle Lowry also has that same A at the perimeter side. So he's going to be my backup point guard. I didn't draft Eric Bledsoe. The game drafted me for him. He won't be in the rotation. It's not a big deal. I got OG Anunoby with like my 4th pick, and honestly, that kind of felt like a steal. A+ perimeter defense. Honestly, he's only 25 years old. He's on a good contract. I was very excited to get him. Same thing can be said about Derek White. I was surprised when I got him, I think with like my 6th or 7th pick. This is an all-defensive second-team member right here in Derek White. So I'm very excited to have him here. I did not draft Damian Lee. He will not be in the rotation. We saw Jimmy Butler get drafted. He was my first overall pick. I also went ahead and took Robert Covington. Has 2 solid defensive ratings there. He'll probably be Jimmy's backup. Same with Joe Harris. Didn't draft him. He'll just be here. Also, terrible contract. The power forward was tough because that was the last... Oh, shit, my bad. That was the last starting position that I took, and there were really limited options. Al Horford was the best out of all of them. The only thing that's a little bit unfortunate is the age. I love Big Al, but he's going to regress really fast in this game. We're going to have to find a replacement, probably by the time the offseason rolls around. Then I took Chris Boucher. He's a pretty solid backup. He's 29 years old, who I didn't think he was that old, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not like a crazy age. I just thought he was a little younger, to be honest. And as you can see, has the ratings there, so we are good. And then the center spot here, we have Jared Allen. You saw me take him. We also went ahead and we took Brandon Clark. Markieff Morris. I don't know. Does he play center? I don't know, but I didn't take him. It's not a big deal. But we have our 10 guys. We're not going to make any trades right now. This team is actually pretty good. I think we have a really good mix of some veterans that have definitely seen some things, have some experience. We have some pretty good young pieces here as well. So we're just going to set the rotation for now. I mean, I'm not going to try to get a draft pick. Also, I did remember to turn off previously traded draft picks, so we're good there. Let's just set the rotation. So we decided not to make any trades. Obviously, they weren't really necessary. Everybody we have on this team fits the requirements, and this team actually looks pretty good on paper. Now, will they mesh well together? Time will tell. There's not a ton of great three-point shooting on this team. That definitely makes me a little bit nervous, but it is really hard to find both a good 3 and D player. So obviously there's a reason that they call them that. They're not very available, but I think in 2K especially, we should be pretty comfortable with this team. Here's how it's going to look. It's going to be Lonzo Ball, OG Anunoby, Jimmy Butler, Al Horford, and Jared Allen. You got Jimmy and Al Horford, 2 former 76ers here. It's kind of funny to see. The bench unit's going to be Derek White, Chris Boucher, Brandon Clark, Kyle Lowry, and Robert Covington. So it's a pretty good team. I would say we have some pretty good depth as well. We have a complete idiot in Doc Rivers as our head coach, but he has good ratings for whatever reason. So fine by me. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. I definitely think we should be at top of the Eastern Conference. We're pretty close. So we wrap up year 1 with a tremendous record. We go 63-19, obviously assuming that's good enough to be a 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. And it's probably the best record in the league. So pretty good start, I would say. You have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning MVP in a Lakers uniform. Don't give the Lakers fans any ideas. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year. He is in New Orleans. Jalen Duren, 6th Man of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Şengün, Most Improved. And Doc Rivers does win Coach of the Year for us. So I'm feeling pretty good right now, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really am. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. We were 9 games up on the Atlanta Hawks for the 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. And we did have the best record in the league by about 5 games. Over here, in terms of numbers, I'll check out the team stats as well, so you know what our points per game, allowed points per game, whatever it is. Jimmy led us in scoring, OG Anunoby, Jared Allen. So I guess I also didn't really realize we don't have like an exact number 2 on this team in terms of scoring. I mean, obviously Jimmy's the clear-cut number 1, but there really isn't a pure number 2 here. So I think it obviously is working for now. Hopefully it'll work come playoff time. Rebounds was led by Jared Allen, and assists was Lonzo Ball. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at team stats as well. I just want to go here, and we're going to see, let's see. So points per game, wrong button. Son of a bitch. Dude, the old buttons are still in my head, and it's screwing with me. All right, points per game, we were 3rd. We had scored the 3rd most points per game in the league. Defensively, we had the best. We only allowed 107 points per game. Next closest was the Atlanta Hawks with 110.5. That is beautiful. Best differential, I'm assuming? Yes, best differential. All right, cool. Wrap it up. Let's see who we got in round 1. It's going to be the Toronto Raptors. You got Cade Cunningham, Devin Booker. It's a very good backcourt. You got Wiggins, DFS. Jakob Poeltl somehow still ends up in Toronto. It's a pretty challenging first-round matchup. I do think we're clearly the better team, but not an easy first-round matchup against a play-in team. We're up 3-2 right now. We close them out in 6. We're moving on to the Miami Heat, who have Trae Young, Josh Giddey, Matisse Thybulle, Jabari Smith Jr., Zubats. You got Cam Johnson, Buddy Hield, Gallo. It's a pretty good bench right there. All right, can we get by them here in the second round? I think we definitely can. We're 2-2 right now. We go up 3-2, and we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to be taking on the Detroit Pistons. LaMelo Ball, Mikal Bridges, definitely somebody we could potentially add to this team at some point. Lou Dort, Keegan Murray, you got Rudy Gobert, Taylor Horton Tucker. All right, that's a good team. I don't think I'm crazy for thinking we're still the better team. We're up 2-1 right now. We go up 3-1, and we're in the NBA Finals. We're in the NBA Finals, and we're going to be taking on Jason Tatum and the Denver Nuggets. You got Jimmy versus Tatum, a story that's feeling like it almost happens every single year. But here's a look at the Denver Nuggets. Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson. Probably would have, I think he did fit the 3-and-D requirement, or the defensive rating anyways, and obviously would have been a good three-point shooter, but I just feel like he's one of those guys that just regresses too hard. So can we get a championship in year one? Is that a possibility? We're up 3-0 right now. Oh my God. We walked to a championship in year one, so technically the challenge is complete, but I'm not going to stop here or anything. It looks good. Jimmy Butler getting a ring, it looks good on him. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So it is time for offseason number one. We will make some moves. I won't just leave the team exactly the way it was. I also don't think it's smart to do that when you have Al Horford on this team, who I love Big Al, don't get me wrong. He's going to regress like a truck hit him in this game. It's crazy. Clippers, Cavs, and Magic is your top three. Let's take a look at Steph's signing right now. I don't think it's insane to keep Doc Rivers when he has those good of ratings and he just led us to a championship. It is hard to fire a coach directly after winning. Has that ever happened before? If any of you NBA, history nerds in my comment section, I don't mean that in an offensive way, know if that's ever happened before without the coach retiring. Has they ever been fired after a championship? Maybe with some big scandal. I don't know. We obviously have 30 in round 1 and 2. I don't really need that. Honestly, I'll just take the 2 future seconds here. It's fine. I don't think anybody we drafted that late is going to help us anyways. We have no team player options. We qualify nobody because we have none. And then free agency here. Do we have any big free agents? Not really. Let's just get into some trades. So Pascal Siakam actually has an A- perimeter defense and an A post defense, so he clearly fits the threshold. And I think he'd be a huge upgrade at the power forward spot. As I mentioned, I love Big Al, but that regression is just going to hit way too hard. Joe Harris, I'm happy I didn't trade him because he makes the money work. And then we're throwing Rocco in here. A couple reasons. One, he is going to regress, but two, he also does make the money work. So this is not going to be an easy get. You don't just get Pascal Siakam. You actually have to probably put in some effort. So if I have to give up 3 firsts, honestly, I'll do it because I really do think this team can win more championships. Well, they take that, they do. Pascal Siakam, welcome to the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm very, very excited to have you here. So, obviously, our starting 5 is figured out. Do I even get Jimmy a backup? I don't even know. Also, did Kyle Lowry retire? I'm assuming he probably did. I'll actually check. Kyle Lowry did. Yeah, he retired. So, we do have to find ourselves a new backup point guard, potentially a new backup small forward, or I can go 9-man rotation. So, in terms of point guards, perimeter defense, we could go Chris Dunn. Honestly, fits everything we possibly need here. Damian Lee, Eric Bledsoe, Markieff Morris, goodbye, not needed here anymore. Very excited to have Chris Dunn here, good defensive point guard. And then in terms of small forwards, if there's anybody here that's really good or, oh shit, these are not good or great options. Are these really my only, am I still sorting by defensive rating? I don't think I am. Oh boy. Yeah. Are these seriously my only options? These are bad. These are real. Danny Green. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's just not much here that I'm loving, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, not really. Do we maybe sign somebody and try to find a trade? I don't really know. That's just tricky, man. These are not great options. Obviously, we don't have a ton of money. Yeah, Jeff Green's not going to cut it. Could go Torrey Craig as an A. You know what? Screw it. We'll sign Torrey Craig. We'll give him a 2-year deal. He'll probably go down a few overalls, but honestly, I'd rather have the backup for Jimmy than not have. We'll just move him to this backup small forward spot. So, all right, man, we're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. Fresh off a championship, we revamped and retooled this team a little bit. Obviously, adding Pascal Siakam was a huge get for us. We move on from Al Horford, who I do love dearly, but I don't even want to guess his overall right now. Here's how it's going to look. It's Lonzo Ball, OG Anunoby as our backcourt. No changes there. Obviously, we have Finals MVP Jimmy Butler as our starting small forward. New addition here with Pascal Siakam. Obviously, Jarrett Allen still manning it down at the center spot. The bench is pretty decent. It's going to be Derek White, Chris Boucher, Brandon Clark, Chris Dunn, and then Torrey Craig's a 73. Kind of sucks, but honestly, it's 10 minutes a night, and it's not the end of the world. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. I feel like I might have found the new cheat code to just win a bunch of games in 2K. You just get a really bunch of guys that are tremendous defensive players. We go 66 and 16 on the season. Luka Doncic is your MVP. I don't count it because it wasn't a triple-double. Has to be a triple-double for me to count a Luka MVP. Victor Wembanyama, I'm assuming, went first overall. He did. He is your Rookie of the Year in Los Angeles. Bones Highland, 6th Man of the Year in Dallas. 20 points a game is impressive. Triple J, Defensive Player of the Year. Would have been another option we could have gone for at the power forward spot. Probably would have cost a little bit more than Pascal Siakam. And ultimately, I I would have loved to have had him, but I'm very happy with Pascal. Tyler Hero is your most improved player. Doc Rivers Coach of the Year awards. That'll probably not come out of my mouth for a long time. All right, here's a look at the standings. We were 16 games up on the Atlanta Hawks for the 1 seed here in the East, and we did have the best record in the league. Let's take a look at the numbers, see how we did in terms of points per game. It was Jimmy Butler, Siakam. Now, and here's our number 2 scorer. We did go out and find that true number 2 option, even though I guess he technically probably is the number 1 option in Toronto right now. Toronto's an interesting situation. I have no idea the route or the direction that franchise is going right now. Just look at all these steals per game, man. God, you'd love to see it. And then we will look at team stats once again in terms of points per game. We were not exactly at the top of the league or close to like we were last year. We're about 13th, so close to the middle of the pack. But defensively, under 103 points a game. That is absolutely insane. And that clear, far and away, gave us the best differential in the league. I mean, it's just beautiful. It really is, and we should be on our way well to a second championship. Here's a look at the Milwaukee Bucks. They have D'Lo and Anthony Edwards, Hamidou Diallo, Julius Randle, Jakob Poeltl. I think we played him in the first round last year when he was in Toronto. Funny enough. All right, we're up 2-1 right now. We're up 3-1 right now. We win in 5. Moving on to the Miami Heat, who have Trae Young, Josh. Yeah, so we played them last year. So you have some progression on guys like Josh Giddey, Jabari Smith Jr. This is still a good team, but I still do think we're better. Hell, I think we're better than everybody. I stand by that statement. We're up 3-1 right now, and we are back in the Eastern Conference Finals. This time taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Jamal Murray, Tyler Hero, Tobias Harris Grant. You have Joel Embiid here. I was going to say, like, which one of these guys went first, but no, it was clearly Joel Embiid. Not an easy Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is definitely a challenge. We're up 3-1, though, and 3-2, and going to Game 7, and we are back in the NBA Finals. We are taking on Paolo Banchero and I almost said Memphis Grizzlies, and the New Orleans Pelicans here in the NBA Finals. Let's take a look at the Pelicans. De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Simons, McDaniels, holy shit. All right, that definitely scares me a little bit. I can't even lie to you guys. We're up 3-0. Oh my God, we're going to waltz to a second championship. Honestly, I'll get a little bit of gameplay because why the hell not? I mean, who knows? We'll be back here next year. I didn't do it last year because I just kind of assumed we were going to be back here at some point, but 3 in a row is pretty tricky. So we're up 6. Let's see if I can hold the lead. So we're here in New Orleans trying to sweep the Pelicans out of their own building. That would obviously be a pretty fun thing to do. We don't have to stress about the rest of the series. Also, please make sure the starters are in the game. I don't know why in a situation like this we wouldn't have the entire starting 5 in unless somebody was hurt. Lonzo to the rack, throws it in, up 8, 2:44 left. This is beautiful. This is truly beautiful. I will say this challenge is typically a lot harder. Oh, come on with the timeouts. This challenge is typically a lot harder, and that's because we got a really good starting team today. I think we did get lucky with our draft pick. We weren't exactly top. We weren't exactly bottom. Kind of middle of the pack. And I don't hate that in drafts. I think we were probably like, 12, 13, something like that. I don't know exactly. Good God, skip through the timeout. I do not care. So that obviously kind of helps because we had a well-rounded team. Obviously, we had a ton of defensive stars, but a very well-rounded team, if you will. All right, so Jimmy Butler here. Not often I get to use Jimmy in 2K. That's pretty cool to see. Let's try to play on-ball defense against De'Aaron Fox, who I believe is one of the fastest players in the NBA. Probably not an easy task to do, but we are the defensive God squad, I will say. Good rebound, Jared Allen. Kick it back over to Jimmy. Dude, sometimes I wonder what if the 7... Oh, shit. Didn't mean... I almost stepped out. Oh, that was easy. This game is so unserious. Dunk the ball, Jarrett. You're 7 feet tall. What I was saying is sometimes I wonder what would have ended up happening with the Sixers if they had kept Jimmy. Clearly, they would have been out of the second round by this point. I mean, hell, think about how close they came to getting out of the second round, and then Kawhi Leonard put a dagger in the heart of that franchise. And I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that was the team with Jimmy. Like, I'm almost positive that was the team with Jimmy. Unless, yeah, because he was there in, 2019? The Raptors went on to win it all, obviously. Kawhi was only in Toronto for 1 year. And, yeah, that had to have been 2019. That was the season before the bubble. Oh, Jesus Christ, Lonzo. Like, how does that go in? But Jared Allen, who's 7 feet tall, won't just dunk the basketball or even put in an easy layup. I got caught sleeping with Lonzo. That's complete. This is my fault. Good defense. Obviously, this is what it is all about for us today. All right, we're up 8. Siakam inside Jimmy Butler. Good cut. Backdoor slam. Makes it a 10-point lead. We're playing some decent 2K right now. It doesn't happen often, so enjoy it because who knows if it'll come back and happen again. So we'll probably do one more defensive possession, maybe one more offensive possession, and then I think we probably will have enough of a buffer where it won't really matter. Oh, He probably got him. He probably got him. I'm probably just being in favor of my team, if you will. But De'Aaron Fox at the stripe hits the first free throw. Can he make it an 8-point game, or will he keep it at 9? Come on, miss the free throw, De'Aaron. And he misses it. Good rebound. I spoke it into existence. You love to see it. All right, Jimmy, can we just do one final possession here where you just end this franchise as a whole? Jimmy Butler down to the rim, gets the foul. All right, we'll try to hit 2 free throws with Jimmy Butler. If we do, we'll sim to the end because I think, again, what would that be? Well, be an 11-point lead. That's clearly enough of a buffer for 1:11 left. So Jimmy Butler, first free throw is up. It is good, giving him 29 on the night. Can we make it 30, 10, and 5 in a closeout finals game for Jimmy Butler? Second free throw up, second free throw good. I'm assuming Jimmy will win it, but I'll see you guys with the finals MVP. So we end up sweeping the New Orleans Pelicans and winning our second straight championship. And yes, Jimmy Butler is your finals MVP. Second straight season. 3-point shooting was up as well. You honestly do love to see it. All right, it is time for the final offseason. In terms of major changes to this team, I don't think anything major will come. I mean, maybe there's a few small tweaks to the bench. Maybe get a little bit of a better backup for Jimmy, but I don't really foresee anything too big anyways. As weird as it sounds, I'm keeping Doc Rivers. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I believe I traded my first-round pick. I just want to confirm I did. Nobody's going to accept that. It doesn't matter. So who are you going to draft for me here? Adam Bone. No, that's not going to happen. I mean, to be fair, he's not going to crack the rotation, but yeah, we're just going to let him go. Welcome to free agency. All right, so Lonzo and OG Anunoby are both free agents. We obviously want to get both those guys back. I mean, we are basically fucked if we don't get them back. Well, let's take a look. Anybody else? Pascal Siakam here. I don't have any sort of rights on Lonzo. I'm hoping that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass, but Siakam's also a big one for me. Let's just go ahead and pay him, and then we're going to pay OG Anunoby. I didn't realize we have 2 Toronto Raptors in our starting 5. In terms of Lonzo Ball, it might just be sometimes the game just weird with stuff like this. I felt like we should be, if we can't get him back, I mean, we're just kind of fucked. Okay, it'll let me bring him back. All right, so we get all these guys back. There's no other major free agents here that were really playing for us, so welcome back to the team. All 3 of you guys, we are very, very happy to have you. All right, in terms of reworking the bench a little bit, I'm comfortable with Chris Dunn staying. Derek White is fine by me. Ratings are still there. Torrey Craig's going to have to go. He's regressed a little bit. We're good with Boucher and Siakam, and then Brandon Clark is still fine. Okay, so we're going to find ourselves a new backup small forward, preferably somebody that's like at least somewhat decent. I mean, good God. I don't really want to bring back Rocco, to be completely honest with you. You know what? I'm going to get a little cheesy. We're going to sign Luke Kennard, and we're going to pair him in a trade, and then we're going to find ourselves a new backup small forward. Quentin Grimes has an A- perimeter defensive rating. He's a little bit undersized for a backup small forward at 6'5", but if I can get this trade to go through, I will be a very happy camper. Now, I can't I can't actually include Torrey Craig in here for the money just doesn't work, and I don't have a lot of draft picks. I only have 2 firsts, so if possible, I'd like to get... Oh, my God. Okay, beautiful. Welcome to the team, Quentin Grimes. That is an upgrade, and he will be the new backup to Jimmy Butler at an 82 overall. All right, this is working out beautifully for me. I will see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year. It's now the start of the 3rd and final season. We only made a couple minor changes to this team. Quentin Grimes is a welcomed addition to this group. Actually going to take over 6-man responsibilities, and that's honestly fine by me. Here's how it's going to look. It's Lonzo Ball, OG Anunoby, Jimmy Butler, Pascal Siakam, and Jared Allen. Bench unit's going to be Quentin Grimes, Derek White, Chris Boucher, Chris Dunn, and Brandon Clark. Quentin Grimes has an A perimeter defense, which actually surprised me a little bit. Is he like a really good defensive player? And I just didn't know. All right, well, impressive nonetheless. Maybe he developed it. I don't fucking know. But yeah, man, this is the team. 2 straight championships. Let's see if we can make it 3. See you guys at the end of year 3. We go 59-23 to wrap up year 3. That's obviously not great. I actually think that's our worst regular season record so far. But it's still a really good record, so like I'm not disappointed about it. But it is just weird to see because it's also an argument this is our best team yet. I don't really know. Luka, 2nd straight MVP, but I don't count it. It's not a triple-double. Matas Buzelis, Rookie of the Year, is in Utah. He went 2nd overall. Brandon Miller, 6th Man of the Year, is in Cleveland. Surprised he's not starting. Mobley is Depoy. Brandon Miller also wins Most Improved. And we don't get Doc Rivers Coach of the Year. This time it goes to Monty Williams. So we did not have the best record in the league. We did in the Eastern Conference, but yeah, not in the league this year. Let's take a look at the numbers on the year. It was, wow, scoring evened out a little bit. Maybe Jimmy's just kind of taking a step back. I don't really know, but that's interesting to see nonetheless. I do want to go ahead and I want to check out the numbers on the year for defense and offense in terms of points per game. Looks like we weren't very high, yeah. So we were kind of closer to the bottom of the league in terms of how many we scored per game, but defensively, we were far and away the best, defensive team in the league. And then point differential actually ended up second. So not too bad, but maybe taking our foot off the gas a little bit. We got to refocus now for the playoffs. Here is a look at the Milwaukee Bucks, who are an insane team. That is a very, very good squad in a very challenging first-round matchup for us. We are up 3-0, though, and what the fuck? I don't get it sometimes. All right, here's a look at Miami. I think this is the third straight year we've played them. Hopefully it's the third straight year we beat them. I think that would probably... this is kind of like the opposite for the 76ers. It's like every time they play the Celtics, they lose. Every time the Heat play us here, we lose. Or they lose. All right, we have Brooklyn here in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's Jamal Murray, Tyler Hero, Tobias Harris, Grant, and Joel Embiid. I believe we also faced them in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. We have... Oh, my God. I was about to say we've yet to lose a playoff game, and then we lost one. Because why wouldn't we? I just shouldn't have even said anything. All right, so we're going to be taking on SGA and the Lakers here in the NBA Finals. Lonzo actually wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Here's a full look at this Lakers roster. SGA, DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels, John Collins, Claxton. Got Capella off the bench. Got Thibault off the bench. A couple of good defensive players off the bench. But I really do think we should be well on our way to our third championship. I stand by that statement, and it does come true. Jimmy does not win Finals MVP this year. It goes to Lonzo, but nonetheless, 3 championships. I'm just going to start getting defensive studs every single video because honestly, it's worked out beautifully for us so far. So I had a ton of fun with this one. This team came out really good. I just want to check. Also, yeah, looks like nobody really regressed too much. So fine by me in terms of defensive ratings anyways. But yeah, man, this was a fun one. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did as well. Obviously, it's not the hardest challenge in the world, and we did get really lucky in the fantasy draft in terms of what pick we got. But yeah, man, I had a fun making it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. And yeah, man, that pretty much wraps this one up. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.